Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high Elo casting. Today, coming onto the Rift for the first week of September. Schools are back, and guess what? So are we. Coming in here, we will see some level 1 shenanigans come out from this red side. Nice to see a Dr. Mundo here. Not really too much to be able to push him around, but there is Emilio, so instead of trying to run in, they're going to be trying to get out. Now, not going to be spotted by the bot side of this blue team, but Mundo will show his face. Emilio will be caught up by the Cosmic Binding, not rooted down just yet. Tanking up the turret. Mundo going to be taking a step forward, but it might be over a kill here. It's Draven who just manages to slip away, but Emilio will go for a flash. Aerie not able to claim the kill there. The ball goes over. It does pick up the kill onto Mundo. Now, can Draven pick up this onto Samira? It's going to be one for him. Be a quick trade back from Syndra. Now, Quay going to be caught up by the Cosmic Binding. Has to flash over the wall. Going to be using the empowered autos to be able to pick up the kill onto the Syndra. And that's already Feats of Warfare claimed. It's 3 kills over. Quay, Draven, and Emilio all getting a little piece of the pie. Whereas Syndra and Samira pick up kills for the red side. Oh, quite an interesting level 1. They were down in terms of numbers, but just through sheer turret damage alone, they were able to keep themselves up and about. Now, Syndra did use TP to get back into lane, and Draven, with being so close to that turret, didn't actually end up needing to use his flash. Opting to save it. But what we'll see is we might see Quay being able to apply a little bit more pressure onto the Syndra now that he is up the TP, so forcing Syndra to back could be a lot more costly for her as Shaco finds Vi in the top side. Gonna just be disrupting her jungle clear. Has only taken 1 camp. It's been Raptor for Raptor so far. Now, Vi does find the clown in the bush. Gonna get caught up by the box as Quay is over the wall. Gonna be using the Rising Beacon. As Vi is knocked quite low. Shaco within an inch of Vi now. Not going to be able to claim that kill, but the W comes down. It's going to be another kill over to the Hui here. Syndra is here, though, to be able to try and disrupt this. Mundo's moved down as well. Renekton is following soon. As in bot side, it's been a lot of potency from the Draven and Emilio combo. Having these waves be shoved in as much as they are up the flash on the Samira. As Vi right now is having a terrible time. Quay's back going to be cancelled by the red buff as Renekton will look to land the slice and dice onto the Vi. As it's going to be 2 sort of separate fights here. The Sway going to be shut down by Mundo. Vi falls soon after. Renekton goes over the wall to chase down the businessman, but he's not getting any tax breaks here as the Renekton quickly seals his fate. Now Bard on the chase against the Shaco. Not going to be able to confirm that kill. This is going to be Bard going over the wall with Magical Journey. Cosmic Binding not going to be able to land as Renekton will fall to the scan of the week from the Syndra. Now there's a TP coming in from Quay here. Bard finds it, but the fear is there. But Mundo has TP'd back into top lane, so he is going to be able to catch out the Quay here. Meanwhile, in bot, Samira will fall to Draven, as we will see Hui take another death here. It's been a quite bloodthirsty first 4 minutes here. 13 kills across the board. Emilio and Draven taking advantage of the Bard rotating up to that top side to just punish the Samira. No flash, barrier's only just come up. But there's no well and true winners of here, only losers. Vi now down 3 camps. Her Raptors have respawned at this point. And bearing in mind, no one's even taken a scuttle. No one's even thought about it. Vi's only cleared 3 camps. Shaco's only cleared 4. Not to mention, half of those have been from Vi's side of the jungle, but Vi will look for the invaders. Renekton will take an extended trade against the Mundo, and here we have Mr. Rotate himself, the Bard now, with Swifty's boots. Going to be able to just move around the map a little bit more comfortably. Now Shaco moving back up into the top side. as Drake has spawned before either jungler has managed to complete a full clear. Renekton trades the turret shot for a little bit of damage. The pressure is mounting. Now, both junglers are in this top side. Does Shaco find Vi, or does Vi find Shaco? That's the question. As Cosmic Binding lands onto Melio, will be popping the warm hugs. As now Draven sees an opportunity to go forward onto the Smearer here. Going to be landing the spinning axes. One more will do it. The barrier comes through. The flash is in. Exhaust not going to be enough as now it's the Bard in a 1v2, but Vi has already been found by Shaco. And Hwei and Renekton force the flash out of her as the Pillar of Dread comes down, and it's not going to be enough. Hwei not able to claim that kill. The cease and desist just getting Vi out of there. But now the winners are starting to emerge. This Draven has very much proved a little bit too much as the Cosmic Binding does come through. Hwei is stunned up. His Scan of the Week available for the Syndra as he falls very low. The auto attack from the Bard to be able to claim it as now Shaco is here in the mid lane. No box to be able to try and land onto the Syndra. It is going to be AP Shaco. So those boxes are going to be an absolute point of contention. Going to throw the dagger in. No mana to be able to follow up though. As again, Samira is put under an immense amount of pressure. TP does come through from Bard, using that unsealed spellbook, but Vi is also in close proximity. There could be a potential all-in here. No level 6s for either the bot laners, and she might be a level down, but Vi comes in, sees and desist, lands with the Draven. Cosmic Binding is there to follow. Ignite comes through, and it's just shut down from the Vi. On to the Draven, and it's going to be Milio now in the chase. Season Desist is charged once again, not going to be able to cancel it, and it's a double kill for the Vi. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Hwei's going to be able to pick up a kill on the Syndra. Hwei and Shaco are able to get a consolation prize, but that shut down onto the Vi. Will help her get back into this game, but Samira at the moment is going to be very much stunted at this point. You need to be ahead on Samira. This is the whole point of building this sort of lane, picking this lane bully pick is by now taking a chance on Hwei. No flash available. Cease and desist cuts him out, and it's going to be another 1-3 for Vi in the span of about a minute here. She's gone from bot to mid and claimed kills along the way. The quietest place seems to be top lane. And still, with 4 kills across the two of them, it's going to be relatively even as the Dominus does come through. Now, Insanity Potion. Gonna be hot. As Syndra using Shaco's boxes against him. And Vi's able to... Draven's able to pick up a kill onto the Vi there. But now Syndra, level 6, Infernal Trigger will come through, but the Whirling Death is too much, and she's going to fall. Double kill for the Draven, and now in mid lane, Bard and Syndra sitting in a tree. D-Y-I-N-G. Bard going to be dropping very low, not going to fall just yet, but has to be very cautious as they might be trying to line up for a magical journey here. Draven and Melio pushed up to between the tier 1 and tier 2 turrets as Bard does get spotted. Cosmic Binding is not going to be able to connect. The magical journey takes him over. Cease and desist being charged up by Vi at the moment. Just going to take it over to the Gromp to clear that camp away. Meanwhile, on top side, Shaco is working on these grubs. They spawned 40 seconds ago, but Renekton seemingly having the stronger lane at the moment. Able to provide any assistance if need be, and 9 minutes in, 21 kills. And this Mundo is looking fabulous in the suit. 2 giant belts to his name. All we're building into that heart steel is Renekton just looks to disrupt Mundo as much as possible. The issue you have with this matchup is Renekton's falling off later on, but Ghost's going to be popped. Ignite used in response to the stun comes through. It's going to be one Culver Meek, and it's going to be a claiming the kill. Slice and dice. Very nice as Mundo falls to Renekton. Able to just catch that out. Shaco takes an appearance into mid lane. Going to be landing the Pillar of Dread onto the Syndra, who is ticking away. Ignite's not going to be able to claim the kill, and Vi now in the refight. Going to be able to pick up the kill on Shaco there. Syndra gets away within an inch of her life, but Hwei says no. Aims that W Q perfectly. It's going to possibly be the bot tier 1 going over to the way of the blue side, but now Hui sees the Vi, knows his fate, and just tries to get as far away as possible. No flash, dodges the cease and desist, goes under the turret, and does end up falling. Does waste a little bit of time, but it's going to be another kill over to Vi, and this Vi, who was down, you know, most of her jungle early on, starting to climb back into this game. So we went from a very significant kill deficit to almost leading in the kills, but it is still an almost 2k gold lead here at the moment, as Melio and Draven not showing any kind of sign of slowing down. Bloodthirster picked up, Samira not even on anywhere near the first item. As I mean, empowered boots were claimed so early, we can't even see anyone had claimed them yet because they need two items. But Shaco over the wall against Syndrome. Magical Journey comes through. Bard managed to locks up the Shaco with the Cosmic Binding, but it's going to be too late for him. He is out of here. Syndra picks it up with a little ball throw, but it's not a ball she's throwing. It's going to be Shaco's own box. Scatter the Weak lands onto the Draven, but the shielding is there to prevent any further demise. But Bard thinks otherwise here as the Cosmic Binding does come through, just able to slow at this point. But here comes the Tempered Fate. Now Draven lined up here for Syndra, for Bard, as the Warm Hugs will be coming through. Syndra going to be knocked back by the Melio football. And now it's a 3-on-2. Vi is in the mix as Melio might be caught out here. Cosmic Binding not available, but Shaco's in over the wall. Going to be popping the clone. Now Renekton taking an extended trade. Dominus hasn't been popped yet, as Bard fell down below. Hui got there in time and was able to pick up the kill, and the Bard slightly overextending. As Mundo does need to be very careful here. You see that Renekton could very easily dash in twice. Slice and dice. Will opt just back away. Is up 3-1 with that Blade of the Ruined King, and it seems like Mundo's going to be able to pick up the Heartsteel. Fully health maxing this game. 3 Giant's Belts and a Ruby Crystal. He's got no interest in resistances. Vi does manage to find Shaco on the bot side. Cosmic Binding not going to be able to lock him up, but Shaco might be able to get away. Swirling Despair not going to be able to connect onto the Vi, and Shaco does fall. Vi now just walking away. Picked up a kill on the Clown, and now bye-bye. Tea time's over. Mundo desperately trying to take a reset here. Going to be stopped again by Renekton, pulling that next wave away. Syndra will be dropped low. Bard is in the middle of the fray. Melio and Draven just kind of existing at the moment now, as Renekton does drop quite low. One more briefcase and he will be in big trouble. The Ghost is now going to be available for Mundo, and the Insanity Potion up to as Bard. Cosmic Binding able to stun up Draven as the Scout of the Week comes through. Now Melio's job here is to try and keep Draven alive, as he's going to be locked up by the Tempest Fate. Cease and Desist charging through, but it's going to be cancelled by the Melio Q. Unleashed Power launches from Syndra onto the Draven, but it's going to be 3 autos. Done and dusted. 5 falls. And Draven comes out of that alive. It's a 2 versus 3, and Draven is winning. Melio not even having to bust out those Warm Hugs to keep the Draven alive, as it's going to be another turret going the way of this blue side. Now up almost 3.5k. As we have a little bit of supportal combat, but who's here but Samira with the Collector now, finally able to get that first item after a long drawn out period of being quite stunted. And while it is a 3v3, even in numbers, you have to sort of think that Shaco's not going to be able to provide as much as the Vi and the Syndra can dish out. Bard as well with that redemption now, kind of having a little bit of a sleeper game, 2-1-9, but at the sacrifice of a much significantly weaker ADC at this point. As first items have all come through, it's the Warmogs first for the Mundo. Right now, Herald has spawned. The Drake will be following soon. Will this be a trade for objectives, or will this be take one fight, take the other? Slice and dice gonna come through. Cold the Meek. Ghost is popped by Mundo. Will claim that spell shield as well as Melio. Might be in a spot bother here by using the cease and desist to close the gap, but it's Draven who's going to be caught up. It's going to be the Vi falling down. I realise that I've been calling her Q cease and desist. That's the ultimate ability. It's Vault Breaker on the Q as the Herald's going to get started here. Bard does get found, but not enough to need to worry as Mundo very nicely clearing away that minion wave there. Emilio is going to have to be quite cautious just because significantly lower on HP. He has got a W and potentially an ult here to heal himself up as Mundo. Renekton going blow for blow, pound for pound. Both ults are available as Syndra going to be going in onto the Hui here. Going to be using the Unleashed Power and it's going to be a kill over to the Syndra. Into the bot side, stun comes through onto the Mundo and now it's the Ignite ticking away. Insanity Potion going to keep him alive. A Syndra in a spot of bother here. Draven says hello. Whirling Death not available and it's going to be Melio who claims the kill there. Lands it with the Flaming Football. Call it a goal. Mundo does manage to regen that health with the Warmogs, but Renekton able to keep the damage coming. This Herald's picked up by Vi. Drake started up by Shaco. Going to be a trade across the objectives. As now this red side pushing in this mid-tier 1. But with Shaco on the lurk, they're going to push away. Draven as well in the area. As Vi finds Renekton. Vault Breaker not able to get her away. So it's going to be a magical journey over the wall. The Cosmic Binding slowing the Croc down. And Renekton has eyes for Mundo. Going to be sped up by the Hui. Going to be caught out. And now Mundo, Tempered Fate, going to come in too late. And it's going to be Mundo falling there. No business acquisition can save you from that. A Shaco caught out by the Scat of the Week. And it's going to be a single pop onto the Clown there. Rooted up now. Syndra has to back away a little bit. As we zoom out here, Renekton did fall under the turret, and now Hui taking turret shots. There's going to be another Unleashed Power used on Hui by Syndra. As it's Melio in a 1v2. Teasing the competition. Whirling Death is on the way. Not able to connect onto the Bard. Not going to be able to claim that kill, but Melio might just pick up one, and the Shaco turret might pick up the second. Syndra has to fall low and has to back away. And meanwhile, Samira in bot side, left alone. And Draven will take full advantage. Picks up that kill relatively easily as Melio again teasing the opposition. As Vi, Vault Breaker primed and ready. Shaco will take the clone as it's now the Herald in the mid lane. As apologies for the zooming in and out. I'm still learning about the spectator tools, and this was a new one that I was shown recently where you can zoom out on the map. As we do see, Draven might potentially be caught out here by Vi. Gonna be moving around the bush. Bard tries to use the Cosmic Binding, not gonna be able to lock up any opponent just yet. It does manage to catch on to Draven, and now with Syndra there, no Melio in sight. This could be devastating. Draven does get knocked low, not able to catch him with the second Cosmic Binding. Bard has to back away. Renekton and Mundo will be taking a trade on top side. Mundo still with that passive shield up. Insanity Potion still up available. So is Dominus. We will see it get popped here. And now it's a 1v1. Now it's real. Now it's honest and true top lane fighting. Samira goes in on to Draven, looking to try and get that Infernal Trigger. Will not get it as there's a shutdown onto the Syndra. 2 for 1. Done and dusted. Make it 3. Bard makes it 3. As Hui picks up a third. And Mundo is back to full health after going to about 10%. So I don't know what supplements he's using, but my goodness gracious me, if they don't work, then it must be a PR stunt, as Atakan does get started up now in bot side. Emilio just toying and playing with the red team at this point. And who can blame him? You managed to pick up a kill in topside on the Bard, and you're able to keep a Syndra at bay. Not just a Syndra, but a Syndra who's got 2 items. As this Atakan take is a little bit less than stellar. Quite slow, in fact. Let's drop down to 4k. And had they known, this could have been a possibility of a flip here for the red side, but what is done is done. And Vi on the top side will now need to try and find some form of value. She had a decent mid-game, but at the moment it's starting to slip away. Someone who definitely hasn't slipped away is Draven here. 10-3-3. i.e. Bloodthirster and the Collector. Survivability and damage. Tempered Fate not going to be able to connect. Emilio taunting a little bit. Cosmic Journey goes over the wall as Mundo once again in a fight with Mundo. No Insanity Potion available. No Ignite for Renekton though. So it's just going to be blow for blow, pound for pound. And Cease and Assist comes through onto Shaco. Vaultbreaker going to be able to connect onto the real one, but it's going to be the Swirling Demise that seals Vi's fate. And now it's a 2 versus 3. Caught in all by the grip as it's going to be Bard falling first. Samira now goes in. The Infernal Trigger going to be coming up in one auto attack, but it's a fear and it's a claim for Hwei. Triple kill on the bot side as Draven and Emilio making the most of a bad situation. And the bad situation being is there's no one to stop them going through mid lane, except Mundo's come back now, and he is ready for business now with that Heartsteel Warmogs as well. Does Draven have the damage, the attack speed to be able to shred down the Mundo? He does not have any kind of anti-heal or armor pen at the moment, as there's going to be a TP coming through for Bard onto that bot inhibitor turret. Cosmic Binding will not connect, and Hwei shoves him away. But it looks like it's going to line up for a collapse here. Bard does drop low. He's going to have to back off back to the fountain to regenerate. And Vi, Renekton lying in wait. Croc, here he comes. Stun comes through. No Vaultbreaker available to try and escape. And it's a kill for the Renekton. Now Samira going to be taking engage onto the big bad Croc. And Syndra's here to join in as well. Flash forward from Renekton going to be going in onto the Syndra. Slice and Dice and the Cold Meat going to be able to claim that first kill. As Samira goes in with the Infernal Trigger and he's able to pick up the kill onto the Crocodile. We're having Gator for dinner. Call it Cajun. And Samira were able to pick up that kill when it seemed all lost. One more Slice and Dice and Samira was mincemeat. Would not be Croc on the plate today, but Renekton does go a little bit too far. Is able to pick up 2 kills, is able to, you know, significantly damage the red side, but does end up being an overextension, and now that's the front line for this blue side gone. So Vi has no stopping factor. Mundo can go where he pleases for another 10 seconds. The question is, where can you find value as this red side? Shaco takes his leave on to the walls. The Shaco box will get spotted though, so looks like it will just be a mutual agreement. But Vaultbreaker does manage to connect after that Cosmic Binding. Shaco box does proc, and now it's Vi in a spot of trouble there. Going to be locked up by the Hwei and the Emilio, who do send some poke damage in. The Shaco clone is neatly tucked away under the bed. It's going to be Emilio caught out now by the Scatter of the Weak. Samira goes in, and it's going to be a land in. The Tempered Fate is going to catch out Samira. Draven does fall though. Now, Whirling Death not able to claim any kills, but the swirl from Hwei, and that is destruction at its finest. It's a 1 for 2 here in favour of the red side. You do still have the Mundo, but Renekton's here to play. Dominus will be popped, and now it's a Renekton into the middle of the fight. Vi is going to be the first to fall. Now Renekton goes forward straight onto the Bard. Bard going to be picked up as a double kill here, as Renekton continues forward, damaging on to the last remaining members of this red team. Going to be tanking 2 turret shots. Will fall to the turreters. It will be an ace though. 33-24, and this is shaping out to potentially be a 10k gold lead. Baron spawning in 10 seconds. Do you try and clear the Nexus, or do you back away? Seems like the best option would be to reset, get your health bars back, as there's a Samira coming down. She's got Infinity, and she has the Collector. Will be caught out by the Shaco box. Going to be stunned up, going to be feared, and it's going to be another ace, rinse and repeat. Samira, the idea was there, but one fear, one little bit lick of CC, and all of a sudden, Quay makes life very difficult. As Draven, I mean, he's 240 CS at this point. Up 60 on Samira. There's no other deficit at all this game, as the Baron is all going to be started up. And now with this Ocean Soul likely coming up in a moment, and this blue side very much in the driver's seat. 9.7k is the gold lead. You need what can only be described as a miracle, as there is level differences all around, at least one in every lane, two if you are Draven, but the way you win this, you need to catch out this fear factor that is the Draven. You need to take him down as soon as you possibly can. The Vi has to lock him up, and the issue that you have is Draven's always within a heartbeat of Melio. But Mundo may have potentially found a potential here. Is able to land the briefcase, and it's going to be a W used early for Melio. Tempered Fate comes through. Draven tries to flash away. He does flash once again into the Tempered Fate now. Draven going to be locked low. This is going to be a kill for the Mundo. Melio the next target in line. Cosmic Binding not going to be able to connect, but Melio manages to pick up a kill onto the buy there. And Shaco nailing on the Bard, and meanwhile there's a croc in your base. Dundee says hi as Renekton brings these Baron-empowered minions to the last standing Nexus turret. It is Samira and Mundo against the world, as it's going to be a Samira falling very early on, and now it's Renekton will seal this game. It's GG. Well played.